Hello, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, Tuesday 25th of August. I have months where the month sticks. Do you have this? Where the month or the date or whatever sticks better than other months? And maybe it's just the way the vowels and the consonants fall, like August. But I really wanted to say March. I know. Who knows? We're using the Herbal Tarot. Once again, as I always say, this is definitely not herb advice, not from me. Not from me. He thinks that using a bit of dried thyme is a revelation, because I do. Okay, what do you want? Ooh, yeah. Lady's slipper. That sounds cool, doesn't it? Lady's slipper. Okay. No, I don't need that. We had a lot of reversals yesterday, and today I'm not feeling them. So even though they want to all be in reverse, they're not going to. Turmeric. I have a lot of trouble with turmeric, so I have turmeric powder that I put in my hot chocolate in the evening, and if you drop any of that stuff anywhere, it does make this incredibly staining yellow dust. So yeah, but when it's in the pot, because it's in a shaky pot thing, I don't know what the proper word for that is, it clumps. So I spend the whole time, I've got a really very nice wooden countertop, I spend my whole time, because I'm impatient, smacking it against the countertop, making dents, and then underestimating it and going like that, and then pouring it all over the countertop so that everything is stained in this funny yellow colour. Yes. Ooh. Okay. So yesterday we were looking at Queen of Wands and Sneaky Beaky and all the rest of it. And that was definitely a very distinctive kind of a reading. And today I'm wondering about boundaries, because we've got a few swords knocking around, but mostly because of this lady. Queen of Swords, Lady Slipper. What is Lady Slipper? That sounds like a kind of euphemism for a lady garden, you know, or something like that. Oh, it's just my lady's slipper, you know. Actually, now I'm looking at the plant, I'm wondering, and I'm not going to wonder anymore. I'm not far off, am I? But let's not go there. Okay, Queen of Swords is the queen of off with their head, and that sword is the sword of truth. And there's something here about being robust with your boundaries. Okay? Even and especially, I'm going to say, to the empaths out there, you know who you are. Empaths are usually, not always, if you're, you know, quite a well-practiced empath, sometimes you've worked out how to have boundaries as well. Most of the time you're catching feels right, left and centre, and it can be tricky. There's something here about reaction, your sort of initial reaction or your nervous system reaction versus a little bit of head control over that reaction. So I had an old boss who just absolutely used to dress like, she just was like an 80s power dresser. Let me just turn my phone off. And I loved it. She was like pencil skirt, heels that high, and then a kind of cleavagey blouse. But she was such like a power woman. So cool. And she just had amazing boundaries. Amazing. I loved her. And also, of all the bosses I ever had, and some of them were difficult, she was so nice to me. She was so good to me. But to other people, particularly the guys, maybe. If you tried to dick her around, she was just, my God, you'd be reduced to nothing. So I tried to learn off her a bit, actually. She was an air sign. She was an Aquarius. I do love Aquarians. Anyway, this is calling on you. You don't have to wear the power skirt, although it's a good laugh. Why not? Let's give it a go. Christ. Use your discretion. She used to say to me, I listen to my head, then I listen to my heart, then I listen to my gut. And the gut wins. There's something here about your gut feeling and then following that up with some kind of boundary. We also have, what's this? Yarrow. We have the Ace of Wands knocking around. So there are a lot of high feelings. There's a lot of maybe anger, maybe indignation, maybe passion, blood rising, you know, a bit of... And it's about not following through with your first reaction, because your first reaction is to fawn or freeze. Not, you know, if your first reaction was to be like a bloody bulldog, it wouldn't, you know, with restraint, obviously you don't go harming anyone, it might not be so bad, but our nervous system is not like that. And especially if you are of the empath persuasion, which a lot of us are, then you'll be internally aflame, externally fawning or freezing, and that cognitive dissonance, or the difference between how you're presenting and what's happening inside, is what gives you an ulcer, you know. So we've got aconite, which is the it says here poisonous herb, which is the Knight of Wands, but also used for shock, I thought, in homeopathy. But anyway, that's not medical advice. Yeah, going at it. Knight of Wands, rah! Or fawn while somebody else does, okay? Then our staining friend, the turmeric, the Five of Wands. This is because there are crossed wires. There are crossed wires, there are what people call misspeaks, there's arguments, there's whatever it is. And it's really important that even though you are going to catch feels and you are going to be riled up, that you take the time to centre yourself and the way that I kind of do it, if I'm like this, is to take whatever it is and put it wherever that chakra is that's under your belly button. Is that it's not the sacral one, is it? That one anyway. I never remember what they're called or the colour, but it could be orange, but I'm not sure. And put it right under where your belly button is and leave your power centre right there. And just see what you come up with. Because if you let it sink in and you own it and you own the feeling, you may not fawn or freeze as much. And then you can be more Queen of Swords, which is, I'm going to pick and choose here. I'm going to decide. I'm going to gatekeep. I'm going to have boundaries. Valerian. I once had some Valerian, was it tea? Christ almighty, it was like having a... I think I'm funny with stuff. It was a fever dream. I went into another dimension, I think. It didn't make me sleep, but I wasn't awake either. It just took me off with the fairies. So some stress over this. And then also we have the Queen of Pentacles. Giving marshmallow. I mean, who doesn't like a toasted marshmallow? Me, actually, but I love the concept of it. Give yourself time to let it sink in and to let it be real. And then, wild cherry bark, which sounds good, Knight of Swords. You can say your piece or make your move or put your boundary down or whatever it is. And no blaming yourself for any of this, because that's, you know, not being in your own best interests. Could have said that better, but hey, I'll let myself off the hook. Leave me a comment, let me know how it resonates, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.